Hello, everyone. As I walked on stage today, some of you weren't surprised. You probably nudged a neighbor and whispered, "I always thought it might be him." And for those of you that are surprised, it's probably because you're thinking, "Wait a minute, I thought that kid was a freshman." Since this is my only opportunity to have the undivided attention of my peers, I wanted to say something today that everyone would find powerful, relatable, thought-provoking, inspirational. But I just couldn't think of anything. So I decided to stick with what got me to the position of valedictorian in the first place: plagiarism. Now, I know this is your third student speech today, so anytime I feel your attention is slipping, I will spice up my speech with a fun, yet plagiarized fact from one of my favorite websites, 1001 Cat Facts for Kids. Miss Baker, I hope that someday you can find it in your heart to forgive me. But here we go. Ninth grade was my second year at GAC, but it was a year full of firsts, accompanied by much apprehension and fear. Ninth grade was the first and only time I took PE, because as a very small freshman, PE was a terrifying experience. Freshman year was also the first time I saw Bio Bob dissect fresh roadkill in the middle of his room. It was the first time I saw Jeff Foxworthy at a football game, so of course I took out my phone and took selfies discreetly and then sent them to all of my relatives. Cats make about 100 different sounds. Dogs make only 10. All right, just wanted to be sure you were still with me. In the 10th grade, we got our MacBooks, so that year was basically doomed from the start. I think my favorite classes that year were Minecraft 101 with Mr. Crane and Miss Hughes' Pinch Hitter 3 class. 11th grade brought with it one of my favorite years on the New York mission trip. While on our trip, we slept in a church, and one night in the basement, Mr. Denton thought it wise to challenge me to a pull-up contest. As most of the seniors may know, this was to become his ultimate mistake. Because when he jumped up and grabbed the bar, his pudgy fingers immediately lost their grip, and he fell to the concrete floor. On the way down, his head struck a pew, leaving him sufficiently concussed and the pew sufficiently broken. Now, we needed ice, but we happened to be in the basement that night because the church was holding a formal dinner upstairs. So we were forced to walk upstairs in our pajamas and explain to the people in the kitchen that a grown man had just fallen from the rafters and broken a pew with his skull. Female cats tend to be right-pawed, while male cats are more often left-pawed. If nothing else, you're going to leave this ceremony today a little bit smarter. That brings us to senior year. The year when our student section brought 9 fan buses and whited out the Macon Centerplex to watch us capture another state title. The year when a single prank phone call transformed into the majestic creature that is Coatsworth and Sons. The year when Jonathan and Kevin stripped down to Speedos in the middle of a basketball game. The year when we argued online for months about what day everyone could skip, and then nobody did. The year when I could walk up to any senior in the class and they would know exactly what I meant by OMC. The year when we declared silly string war on the underclassmen and then were swiftly kicked off campus. The year when 176 students graduated high school and prepared to begin a brand new phase of life. I said all of that to bring us to this point. I wanted the early portion of my speech to serve as a metaphor for the high school experience. You may have wondered the purpose of the cat facts. I wanted to show that the facts aren't what truly matter. While the facts in my speech may have been interesting, really the stories contained all of the substance. This same idea is true of high school. Our 4 years here have been so much more than acquiring an arsenal of facts. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not up here trying to prove that I'm a cool valedictorian by saying all the facts we learn are useless. In reality, I think the facts we learn in school are some of the most valuable things we will ever obtain. However, the experiences we had in high school can teach us something that cannot be found in a textbook. They teach us character. By living through these odd situations, we learn lessons and form habits that will remain with us for life. The mission of GAC is to help each student grow in wisdom, stature, and favor with God and man. I've grown in all three areas, not by reading how-to books, but by going out and living my life. Stature, the fear of freshman year, made me stronger and more prepared for my future endeavors. Wisdom, the first year with MacBooks gave me a crash course in self-discipline and time management, because believe me, I wanted to play online pool all day, but I didn't. Favor with God and man. The New York City mission trip changed my life and showed me how everyone can make a difference, even in their own backyard. And the relationship I made with Mr. Denton has been beneficial for both my intellectual and personal growth, and I'm sure our relationship will last for years to come. In the words of Mr. Denton, high school does not consist of an established narrative or a set of goals or anything you might think it does. It's really just this weird compendium of utter random absurdity, and the experience of it far outweighs any accomplishments you think you will achieve. Even though many of us went to the exact same classes and received the same lectures, every person in the audience today had a completely unique journey through high school. These unique journeys have given us the life skills needed to become the future leaders of the world. And GAC has done an excellent job not only of giving us the facts, but of molding us into people capable of doing something with them. Now, before I leave you today, I feel that I must make a few shout-outs. First off, to my loving and supportive family, without whom I wouldn't be here today, and I definitely wouldn't be headed out of state for college. Thanks, Mom and Dad. To the most brutal coach I ever had, I'm, of course, referring to Coach Brad Kinzer, who took time from his strict Twinkie regiment to mold me from nothing into the man I am today. To Mr. Townsend, for teaching me all the essentials of junior high science, like how to build my very own canoe using only wood and a team of children. And finally, to all my friends, my classmates, my teachers, and everyone else here at GAC, you have truly made my time here a delight, and I will never forget the memories I have made. Therefore, my hope is next fall, when the GACS class of 2013 spreads out across the nation, that we can keep alive the high school spirit of living for each and every moment. By doing this, we are sure to seize every day and never miss an opportunity to grow. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2013.